so going into that, I'm curious, like when you're writing, you're writing Promises? Are you working on, I don't know who wrote Jireh with Chandler, but like when you like these bigger songs that are a little bit more popular than some of the other ones, like do you know in that moment, like you're like, yo, this is a jam or something, or like do you have songs personally you're like, man, I'm surprised that this one isn't getting the not recognition, but the exposure as the others. You know what I mean? I'm curious on your perspective on that.
So I didn't write Promises.
Okay.
Joel wrote that, and Dante and Aaron, I think. And then I wrote on Gyra with Chan, with Pastor Stephen Furtick and Chris Brown from Elevation. So in both moments, when I heard Promises, I was like, oh, this is a good song. I was like, okay, we'll just sing it. I don't think we realized until after it was mixed,
Mm,
like, oh wait, this was a moment, like this was a thing. I think Promises is one of those songs that was like for a certain season. It was for this season, like, and honest, if I'm honest, everybody needs to know and hold on to God's faithfulness, right? So honestly, I think it is just one of those songs. Jireh was one, when we were writing it, we were like looking at each other like, this is different, but this is a thing. Like, I don't know what, but we need to release this song. And literally, Pastor Stephen was like, um, I want to know when you guys can come and sing this at my church. Like, we need to
oh,
actually,
that's
he said, I
cool.
don't care what we do. It wasn't even an album yet. The reason that we did the Old Church Basement album is because we wrote Jireh and Shall Not Want in that basement for 13 hours. We were in a basement for 13 hours. We took a half-hour break to eat quickly and then went down into the basement again and wrote that song, those songs. And so after writing those songs, it was kind of like, oh no, like this is something serious. Like we need to release it. It's different because Jireh's so different. But there are songs that I just
Yeah.
love even more. And I'm like, man, why didn't that like hit the way that
Sure.
I thought it would have hit?
Sure.
But it's like
And
that.
you
I
never know
think
if it will in the
everybody's experience
future.
is different.
That's the fascinating thing about,
Right.
it seems a little silly, but like if you look at TikTok, for example, for a second, like kind of going on this
Mm-hmm.
random trend, it's like these random songs just pop up that are 15 years old. I mean, like, yo, this song was a jam 15, and it just comes up
Yeah.
though. And or it's like wasn't even popular, or was like semi like underground popular, and it just comes up 10 years later. And, it's just an interesting, I mean, it's like a massive world scale of it, but it is interesting to see. Like you never know. Like 5 years ago, one of these songs that you think are a bop that needs that this like it could hit differently in culture is comes up later. Maybe because
Right.
maybe it was written for 5 years from now. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
and it's just an interesting concept. Like I know personally, songs I've written change for me over time. Where like it meant something to me when I wrote it, and then I'm like, this I'm not there anymore, and this means this now. You know what I mean? So it is
Mm-hmm.
interesting to see like maybe it just doesn't hit because it's not that we're not there yet. It's just it's super fascinating.
Right.